Well, hi, I guess this is a video letter to myself in the future, and I hope what I'm about to say, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm overly pessimistic about some of the things I think are going to unfold over the next 25 years. And hopefully when I'm watching this in 25 years, I'll laugh about how paranoid and uptight I was 25 years in the past. But unfortunately, I think we're kind of, in 2010, we've been dealing with a lot of different issues around the world and in this country. And unfortunately, when it comes to something that's close to me in healthcare, I think that we have unleashed or we've set ourselves in a direction that will lead us to a point that I think we'll have regretted in 25 years. And I think what we'll have seen in 25 years is that when we look back at 2010, that we're at the apogee of sort of technical healthcare practice, and I think contrary to where many experts today believe that we'll be in the future, that we've actually maxed out on some of the technical innovations that are about to come down the pike, because the demand will be drying up over the next 10 years. And therefore things like stem cells, which today people, especially in the mainstream media, think hold a significant promise for solving diseases or for finding solutions for diseases in the future. But I think what we'll see is that didn't pan out whatsoever. And in fact, I think in 25 years, we'll be relying on the same, basically the same technology that we're relying on today. Things that will be different they'll be improved in more advanced imaging. There'll be increases in some of the instrumentation and things that we use in surgery. But I think for the most part, in the name of cost containment, we won't go much beyond that. I hope I'm wrong, because I'm personally involved in some stem cell projects and things. But again, I don't think we're going to be able to push the boulder over the mountain, if you will. I think in my area specifically, in spinal surgery, when it comes to spinal cord injury, for the last 25 years, billions of dollars have been spent looking at spinal cord regeneration and brain injuries, et cetera. And in that case, again, I unfortunately don't think that there will be any difference in 25 years, then significant difference in how we manage those patients than we do today in 2010. That sounds disheartening, but on the other hand, I think what it means is when you take a step back, we have come such a far way when it comes to surgery that we are really, in general, at a fairly successful level of function. But there are things where we really can't intervene in a meaningful way, and one of them is spinal cord injury. And so I think that we're going to be disappointed when it comes to that. As far as the public policy and the overall direction of the country, I think that things that will, on a global scale, that will continue to be a major issue for us is population controls. I think that the nature of this country is going to be dramatically different in the year 2035. Even more different than we are today in relationship to 25 years in the past, which would be 1985. Is that correct? And so I think the amount of change that is going to happen in the next 25 years is going to be quite significant with expanding populations. And with that, we'll see various regional crises emerge in the country. And I think there'll be an increased fragmentation of the country and our ability the ways that we deal with things. And I think that will reverse a trend right now where we're moving towards a more federalized nation. I think we'll reverse that trend, because what we'll see is in different parts of the country, there are going to be increasingly unique problems that emerge, whether it's water shortages, various energy issues, et cetera. I think that between now and 2035, there will have been, because of these pressures will continue, there's going to be increased unrest in Africa, and there's going to have been another major war fought in the Middle East that will essentially will grind on for years and years and years. And I think that and that's kind of frightening, especially in the environment we are today. Again, I hope I'm completely wrong, but if I were to be a betting person, that's where I would go. I think that in Africa, there won't be stability between now and 2035. A lot of the conflicts that are starting to emerge there, we're starting to revisit a lot of the same conflicts that we thought were settled, such as Zimbabwe, South Africa, and I think that that's going to continue. And I think, unfortunately, again, in the Middle East, there are a couple of things in the next few years that are going to really dictate the tone there for the next 25 years. I predict, everyone says that China by over the next 10 to 20 years is going to surpass the GDP of the United States. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that, there'll be a significant recessionary period in China, and that won't have come to fruition for various reasons. I think the United States will still be the dominant economic power, but there are going to be significant limitations on the agility of the American economy because of all these challenges that are going to continue to arise globally, and also worsening problems domestically. So I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that technology will solve all of these problems and that implanted microchips will create peace-loving people all over the world. But unfortunately, I think that what has happened as technology has evolved is that it has actually done a little bit of the opposite of what I think some inventors and engineers certainly had always hoped when they work on these projects, is that technology in whatever category you're talking about, I think the dream is that unites people. And actually what it does is it creates an increasing gap between the educated and the uneducated. And I think ultimately, an interdigitated global system that isn't sustainable beyond a certain point. And so I hope that we can continue solving problems through technology, but I'm afraid that ultimately there are going to be some serious challenges that are going to limit our ability to do just that. So hopefully, to myself in 25 years, hopefully I look like a paranoid lunatic sitting here today. And I hope that I hope you're watching me in 25 years and thinking, thank God that we did solve all of those problems. And hopefully I will have advanced the field of spinal cord injury or stem cell research, and I will have surprised myself, but we'll see.